Buenos días, mis chicos. Vamos a aprender vocabulario nuevo. Eso es bueno. Lo más vocabulario que tienen, lo más que pueden decir. We're going to learn some new vocab, and that is good because the more vocab you know, the more you can say. So we're going to go through this. There are a couple of things that I need to teach you along the way, but it's not a big deal. So this is a vocab unit that will take us probably a couple of weeks to get through, maybe 3-ish, because we're going to also begin adding irregular verbs. We're working on I. So that's just the way Spanish goes. We always have several things going on. There's usually some vocab stuff going on, and then there's also grammar things going on. So what we're doing is totally normal, but it's time to add new vocab since you just took a test. So I'm going to get rid of my face and we'll walk through this. So you repeat after me as we say these. The topic is Vocabulario de la Escuela y tu cuarto a casa. So vocab about school and your room at home. So things that you would find in your room and things that you would find in the classroom. Certainly there are many, many more things. Lots of times kids say to me, well, how come you didn't use this word? Why didn't you use this word? I mean, I could, but it just makes your list longer. So we try to give you the most essential words, and then each year we add a little more to each topic. So you eventually get them all, but it would be pretty overwhelming to do them all at once. Ok, empezamos pues. Repiten, por favor, estudiante. El estudiante. Alumno. Okay, so student, there are two ways to say student. You can use estudiante or you can use alumno. The word estudiante ends with an E, and since you can't tell by looking at it whether it's masculine or feminine, since it doesn't end with an A or an O, you have to say either el estudiante or la estudiante. If you choose to use the word alumno, you'll see on the next slide that you don't have to use the definite article for this one, because if I say alumno and it ends with an O, then we know that it is a boy student. Aquí tenemos, repiten, la estudiante, alumna. Here I can say alumna, and you know it's a female student. You can use la alumna if you want to. It's absolutely fine, but it's not necessary. You don't have to do that. Repiten, bolígrafo. Bolígrafo. A lot of people call this un boli. That's slang. You don't have to memorize that. Un boli. Repiten, bolsa. Bolsa. Notice I have a bunch of different bags. Bolsa is the word for purse and also the word for bag. And if you use it as bag, then it can mean any bag at all. Like maybe you're traveling. Oh, hey, where's my bag? Like this one over here. That could be your bolsa, your grocery shopping. This is your bolsa. This is a purse. This is a tote bag. Any kind of a bag can be a bolsa. Repiten, goma. Goma. There's another word for eraser. It's called borrador, and that is the kind of eraser that we use like at the dry erase board. That's different than what you use with your pencil. Repiten, lápiz. Lápiz. I should have put it on this slide, and I think I will add it right now. We're just going to take the time to do it so that you have it. The plural of lápiz changes spelling. Should be los lápices with a C. And slow down there, lady. And it drops the accent. So it drops the accent when it's plural. There we go. Lápiz, lápices. So the Z becomes a C, and that'll always happen in Spanish. So if a word ends with a Z and you make it plural, the Z will become a C all the time. Repiten, libro. Mochila. Portafolio. Carpeta. How's that for a false cognate? It sure looks like carpet. It's not carpet, it's a folder. One of those like flimsy cardboard folders. Repiten. El sacapuntas. So this ends with an S, but it's a singular word. Here's why. It's sort of a compound word. This is to remove, to take off, and this is points. The like to it's sort of like to make a point on, to take a point, to get a point. So it makes a point at the end of your pencil. Moving on. Cuaderno. Repiten cuaderno. Marcador. Colores. Colors in general. Rojo. Anaranjado. Anaranjado. Just take your time and sound it out. Anaranjado. Amarillo. Verde. Morado. Rosado. Negro. Blanco. Gris. Color café. Okay, so this is that's all we're going to do for colors at this point. So colors are adjectives, and you need to make them agree with whatever they modify. So you're going to put the adjective first of all after what it modifies. So if I want to say the brown dog or the white dog, el perro blanco. The other thing you have to do is make them agree in number and in gender, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. Although I know we've talked about it already. And again, you're going to put the noun before whatever it's modifying, which is the opposite of what we do in English. So if I want to say the yellow pencil, I have to say the pencil yellow. El lápiz amarillo. The gray pencil sharpener. El sacapuntas gris. If I want to say the red stapler, stapler is grapadora, I say las grapadoras rojas. So grapadora is feminine and singular, so I have to put an AS at the end of rojo. So the original is rojo, but if I'm talking about something feminine, then I add an A. If I'm talking about something feminine plural, then I add an AS. If I were talking about more than one yellow pencil, the yellow pencils, I'd say los lápices amarillos. Amarillos. So you may have to go back and review noun gender, which you learned a very long time ago. Okay, repiten cosas. Cuarto. Puerta. That was part of Sayola, so sometimes you'll get a repeat because Sayola had a little of everything. Ventana. Cortinas. Estante. If you want to say shelves, just put an S on it. Estantes. I should have put the article on this one. When it ends with an E, you don't know whether it's feminine or masculine, because how are you going to tell? You can't tell unless you know it. You just have to memorize it. So, estante, I'm going to put it on here for you, is masculine. So, el estante, los estantes. Plantas. Pósteres. Cama. Despertador. Now, I know we don't use alarm clocks very often. I think most of us use our phones for our alarm. But literally, this word means the waker upper. So despertar is to wake up. Door, it makes it a noun. So this is referring to whatever wakes you. It's not actually the word for alarm. The word for an alarm would be alarma, but it would be like maybe like a fire alarm sort of deal. So if it's going to wake you up, it could still be on your phone. It doesn't have to be an alarm clock. So yo tengo un despertador en mi móvil. So despertador could be, we're going to say it could be an alarm clock, or it could just be the alarm that you set on your phone in the morning. Repiten escritorio. There is a separate word for like a student desk. I believe a lot of rooms at the middle school have pupitres, where the little desktop is attached. You know, the chair and the desktop are attached. It's all one piece. Those are called pupitres. We don't have those at the high school. We have tables and chairs, so it would just be una mesa y silla. But if you have a desk like in this photo, it would be un escritorio, which is sort of easy to remember because it looks like to write. You write at a desk. Silla. Silla. That's any chair. Chairs in general. When we do home vocabulary, I'll give you some words for very specific chairs, like a word for rocking chair and armchair. But that's just in general a chair. Dresser is called a, repiten, cómoda. In Spain, they call a computer ordenador. Repiten, ordenador. And in general, most of the rest of the Spanish-speaking world calls it a computadora. Repiten, computadora. And that really may vary from country to country. So if you were traveling, you know, they might use one or the other, or they might even have their own slang word for computer. Repiten alfombra. Alfombra, that's the rug here. Looks like a cozy rug. Armario. Armario. Sometimes I also teach closet, but I did not. You might be thinking, why the heck didn't you teach us that word? Because it's the same. Well, it's not really the same. There's an accent over the O, and you guys hate accents. So I thought I would spare you one and just go with armario this time. Armario. I don't actually know why we include this in our room vocab. I suppose if you have a wallet, you're going to leave it in your room when you're there. Repiten cartera. You cart your money around in a cartera. I wish I had a couple $100 at a time in my wallet. Repiten las llaves. Notice that the word ends with an E. Llave would be the singular, and it's feminine. Las llaves. You'll have to tell me that on your test. You'll have to know. Sion words are always feminine. So if you're going to use the Sion version in Spanish, you would say la televisión. But some countries say el televisor. And some countries use both. You can say either la televisión, el televisor. In Mexico, you can just say la tele, which would sort of be the equivalent of saying TV, would be their abbreviation. Repiten móvil, cell phone. Some places call them your celular. I think móvil is a little easier for you to say, and it's also more common. Repiten lámpara. Espejo. Almohada. Not almohada. Don't pronounce the H. We never pronounce the H in Spanish. Almohada. Las luces. The word for light is feminine. The singular of this word is actually Luz, which is worth adding to this slide, but you don't often use it in referring to the lights of your room. You don't often use that singular form. So las luces, again, the Z is going to change to a C when it's plural. La luz, the light. Las luces, the lights. I included this one because I know you kids like to have these LED lights in your rooms now. Repiten bocina, bocina. On the old list, there was a stereo and CDs, and I don't think that's typically what kids have anymore. I think you have a speaker that you play off your phone or an MP3 player or something, but most people don't have a stereo. Repiten ropa, ropa. So this is a bit of a different word because it's a singular word in Spanish. Obviously, there's no S on this, and you don't have to put an S on it ever because it means clothes, clothing, more than one piece of clothing. So you don't have to make it plural. It's not super wrong if you do, but they don't do it because it's, I mean, why would you? It'd be like saying teeths. You wouldn't do that. And that is the last of the words. So there you have them. We will practice and practice and practice and practice. You've got this video here. You can always access this. And I'll also add the PowerPoint file here for you. It's very, very smart of you to go through this PowerPoint. Each day that we're working on it, I'll recommend that you practice your vocab. This would be a great way to do it. This is what I do in class. I don't know why this will not move anymore. It does not want to move. So at the start of class, we would sing our song, then we would go through the vocab every day, every day, every day. Yeah, my computer's just like locking up here. That's not really super good. I need to get this off the screen so that I can show you your columns. Let's see. It looks like this. So you're going to have this file. This is just your list. So there are 55 words. Some of them are either or, do one or the other. And I'll get more clear with you as we move along and it comes closer to an assessment. But these are all really important words. So make sure that you spend plenty of time working with them. Your columns look like this. So remember, el la estudiante. You're gonna say so estudiante, then you'll type student, then you'll type estudiante, then you'll type student, then you'll type estudiante. The idea, a lot of kids like to do it row by row. That's not how it's intended to be. What you're supposed to do is, if you can print this, that would be the very best so that you're writing them. You do it like a quiz. So you go through and say, oh, estudiante, that's student. La alumna, female student. Alumno, male student. You write the English all the way down. And then you cover up this first column, and then you're looking at the English and you write the Spanish. And you keep doing that until you've completed the whole thing. So that is always how I recommend that you do it. That's how the practice is intended to be done. It's not as helpful if you just write them across in a line, but I guess writing them is better than doing nothing. But the best way to do these is to print them, write them out by hand, and then send me or attach a photo, which is not a big deal at all, especially if you have the Google Classroom app on your phone as well. Just open it on your phone, take a picture with your phone, attach it to the assignment, and you're done. But writing them by hand is your best bet for learning them really well. So all of these things will be attached. That's all I've got for you today. Okay, chicos, I hope that you have a really nice day. Dig in and learn this new vocab. Adios.